Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Nurul Fazlin Abdul Rahman. Today I would like to present to you a conceptual paper on the nexus between paternalistic leadership (PL) and pro-environmental behaviour (PEB) via green human resource management (GHRM). I'll start with the introduction of this paper, this presentation. In the context of organizational sustainability in the 21st century, is the evidence of the strong involvement of many stakeholders in environmental problems across the globe. The current situation has indicated organizations to be more innovative and constructive in seeking ways and strategies for coping with ecological footprint reduction, as well as the economic issues. It means that companies nowadays must fit into the social, environmental, economic, and financial dimensions to achieve success within the corporate community and promote the shareholders' benefit gain. However, organization performance is also connected to its central asset, which is employee behavior, which managed by human resource management, HRM. This is a very significant aspect of sustainability. This explicitly applies to the term of green human resource management. In addition, the successful implementation of green goals requires robust leadership and firm process, because leaders should prioritize sustainability to incorporate green practices into the organization corporate strategy. Study is about the environmental performance of Malaysia. Based on the Environmental Performance Index from 2024, Malaysia's ecosystem vitality, which includes pollutant emissions at 41%, was the factor that contributed to the lowest score. With this proportion, the individual component now ranks 118 out of 180 nations. One of it mentioned by Abdel, Shafi and Mansour, 2018, the activity that involve inappropriate garbage disposal may be the cause of pollutant emissions. Other than that, in 2019, there was toxic trash dump in Sungai Kim Kim in Johor, which has caused airborne pollution that has affected the dozens of students in Johor's Pasir Gudang district. So, based on this situation, Neo et al. 2006 suggested that environmental behaviour among Malaysians is still low, specifically in air pollution and waste management. Next, for the problem statement, is the gap, literature gap, about this study, in which Zhou et al. 2022 studied about responsible leadership that affect employees' pro-environmental behavior. So in this study, there is no paternalistic leadership being studied together with GHRM. It same goes to Shavina and Singh's 2023. The study was about green transformational leadership and pro-environmental behavior, in which this study is focused only on transformational leadership with no involvement of GHRM. However, Bashir et al. Study about the ethical leadership with pro-environmental behavior with the existence or moderated by harmonious passion, while Dedehanov et al. 2019 has been studied about paternalistic leadership and innovative behavior, in which this study is not related to pro-environmental behavior, although the paternalistic leadership is being studied. For Jiang et al. 2017, they only studied on only one construct of paternalistic leadership, which is authoritarian leadership, with no involvement of GHRM. So these are the motivation of the research to be carried out. So the research questions arise from this study. The first one is there a relationship between authoritarian leadership and employees' PEB in the workplace, which brings to the objective of to identify the relationship between authoritarian leadership and employees' PEB in the workplace. Number two, is there a relationship between benevolence leadership BL and employees PEB in the workplace, which carry the objective of to determine the relationship between benevolent leadership BL and employees PEB in the workplace. The third one, is there a relationship between moral leadership and employees PEB in the workplace, which carry the objective of to identify the relationship between moral leadership and employees PEB in the workplace. The fourth one, does GHRM moderate the relationship between AL, BL, ML, and employees PEB in the workplace, which carry the objective of to confirm whether GHRM moderate the relationship between AL, BL, ML, which are the construct of paternalistic leadership, and employees PEB in the workplace. Significance of the study is since the PEB contributes to the green goal of an organization, it is important to study the factor affecting the behavior. Leadership is known to have influence in shaping employee behavior. Therefore, this study explores the impact of PL on PEB with the existence of GHRM at workplace. The result of this study can be used as a reference by the management of an organization to achieve their goal. In line with the explanation, this study is significant for new knowledge for the academia and industries and improving implementation of current practices. The theory that will be used for this study is leader-member exchange theory, which suggests that leaders and followers develop unique relationships based on their social exchange, and the quality of this exchange within an organization can influence employee outcomes. These are the literature review and hypothesis development for this study. The literature review has shown that PL affects organizational commitment and behavior. Based on past study, PL can be understood as comprising of authoritarianism, AL, benevolence, BL, and morality, ML. So the hypothesis for this, H1A, there is a negative influence of AL on employees' PEB at the workplace. H1B, there is a positive influence of BL on employees' PEB at the workplace. H1C, there is a positive influence of ML on employees' PEB at the workplace. Next, the previous work has also expressed concerns about the effects of GHRM practices that can improve its alignment with environmental management. In order to promote sustainable workplace practices among employees, the firms around the world are adopting GHRM activities, namely climate management components of HRM. So the hypothesis is H2A, the relationship between AL and employees PEB is positively moderated by GHRM. H2B, the relationship between PL and employees PEB is positively moderated by GHRM. The relationship between AL and employees PEB is positively moderated by GHRM. These are the conceptual model development, which the paternalistic leadership as the dependent variable, the DV, which this is based on what has been studied by Onle and Kilik 2019, in which they studied about the paternalistic leadership, which has effect to the effective commitment, also leads to the job satisfaction with the existence or moderated by their positive effectivity and also negative effectivity. While Olonohu and Toruksa 2016 has been studied about proactive environmental management, moderated by GHRM to its financial performance. So this is the proposed conceptual model based on the previous model, which has been studied by the previous scholars. So paternalistic leadership consists of authoritarian (AL), benevolent (BL), moral (ML), which will be moderated by GHRM, and it leads to the pro-environmental behavior at workplace. The conclusion of this study or conceptual paper is the first one. This discussion is focused on organizational factors, specifically from the views of paternalistic leadership and GHRM in influencing PEB. Few researchers have studied the direct influence of GHRM practices and policies on PEB at work, but as far as we know, the direct influence of PL on PEB has not been explored, especially among businesses in Malaysia. The organization must pay attention to promote green practices in their HRM functions. There is GHRM, especially when these green practices promise energy saving and environmentally friendly conditions. However, to understand the holistic approach in establishing pro-environmental behavior among employees, future research is recommended to investigate other variables from the individual or employee level. Thank you.